But then if they're a call of God, Jonah is an excellent example. God will tell you what he wants you to do, and if you don't be obedient and do it, he can show you better than he can tell you.
He can show you better than he can tell you.
Yeah, he put Jonah in a whale belly until he got an attitude adjustment, and he cried out and asked God to let him out of there, and he went to Nineveh and preached. One of the greatest revival the world has ever known.
Well, one of the things that I have to compliment you on is a lot of pastors in Macon, Middle Georgia, that their sons and daughters rarely have an opportunity to preach. But as you come to your early morning service, rarely do you speak at the early morning service.
Right.
You give your sons and daughters in the ministry an opportunity to preach there on a regular basis.
Yes.
And I think that's a attribute to your ministry.
Yes.
Because a lot of times a person that's been called into the ministry never have a chance to preach.
Right.
And that early morning service, and you got Christine Wiggins.
Yes. Tremendous preacher.
Tremendous preacher.
Yes.
You give them that opportunity.
Yes.
But I was working with you years ago when the marches was going on for Martin Luther King, and you led a number of marches, and you started the East Macon section. It used to just come from Unionville.
Right.
And you was one of the person that said, we're going to have another leg of this march, and it's going to come from East Macon. And you led that march for a long time. So you've been an asset to this community over the years.
Right. And East Macon took some pleasure in the productivity of the work I've done to get them in focus. You know, it was a march from Unionville all the time. So they took pride in the fact that we are from East Macon. And they would gather up and march with a sense of pride. And that has developed now to the quad of Macon, and we call it NEWS, N-E-W-S, North, South, East, and West. We don't have the same numbers from the North and the South as we do from the East and the West, but they're growing. And they take pride in the fact that once they know the date and the time of the march, they rally their forces and put together a tremendous number from North and from South. But the East and West has been there for a number of years now, and I'm very proud of the fact that it gives people a lot of sense of rewinding and remembering some of the things that Martin did before the Lord took him home.
You came out of Antioch Baptist Church in Atlanta?
No, I came out of Beulah Baptist Church in Atlanta.
That pastor now is who?
Dr. Jerry Black.
Jerry Black.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a tremendous storyteller.
Oh, he's a renowned national, international orator. And if you privileged to stop by his facilities, his campus now.
Campus now?
Yeah. On Clifton Road there in DeKalb County, you will see a tremendous trophy the Lord has led him and the family of Beulah to erect. And one of the strong persons of that movement was a friend of mine who was ordained with me as a deacon of that church, W.T. Jackson. He facilitated the family and the purchase of the land and the development of the church trustee board and the whole 9 yards. And I think there is an element of that church is named after him. He went home last year. But tremendous organizer and a person of leadership to, do things with credibility.
30 years, your anniversary is coming up. Tell us again when it is and where it is and who's going to speak.
30 years.
New Pleasant Grove.
New Pleasant Grove Missionary Baptist Church. And
Broke records.
I place great emphasis on Missionary Baptist Church, because if a church is not a missionary church, then it's a stationary church. It does all of the things in the four walls. The 15th and the 16th of August will be two great days, I believe, where the organized effort to allow people to express thanks and appreciation for those things that we've been about for 30 years, I think it's going to be wonderful. I would urge those who wants to stop by on Saturday evening at 6 o'clock and express yourself. And then Sunday morning, worship with us with Melvin Fussell at 7:30, Aki Hart at 10:45, and Ralph Cherry, who just marched into a new edifice at 2 o'clock, St. John Baptist Church on Key Street, I believe. And so we look with great expectation of having a glorious time in the Lord. The badge of honor of 30 years of pastoring one church is a tremendous badge. But for me and the Grove, it is a tremendous honor.
Well, I appreciate the work you've done, but tell me just briefly, you're married to who for how many years?
Married to my sweetheart.
Your sweetheart?
My sweetheart, Myra Gammage, for the last 28, soon will be, 26th of this month will be 29 years of tremendous.
You have two daughters, I believe.
Two daughters, Joyce and Janice. Both has excelled academically and the classrooms, and I think both now is looking forward to retirement.
But I noticed when I be at New Pleasant Grove, I never heard you call your wife Myra. I always hear you call her Peach.
Peach. Yeah. Peach is the name that I slangily gave her when we came to Macon. And I cannot find in me the origin of the thought process for me to do that, other than the fact that she has given me a sense of a picture of a peach. And so that's been a name for her.
All right, I appreciate you, and again, congratulations for 30 years at New Pleasant Grove.
Okay.
And it's going to be a tremendous program that Saturday and Sunday.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
Make a lot of sense. So